Hello, today is a momentous day. It is Saturday, February 1st. Well, first of all, I have to say, we finally made it to February. I don't know if it was just me, but I swear every single year, January just seems to drag out longer and longer and longer. And this year was no exception. So we're finally in the second month of the year. We've made it. Hallelujah. So today's a big day because I'm going to LA for an event with AsianBossGirl. For people that don't know, I used to work for AsianBossGirl, or I just call them ABG. I started working with them in October of 2020 as an intern, all the way up until April of last year, 2024. It was definitely a big career highlight for me. I learned so much about social media management, and I feel like they gave me a lot of creative freedom that I was itching for. I did that in tandem with a day job, so I was working a job and a half, part-time with ABG and then full-time at my corporate job. And honestly, I was able to keep that up for 3.5 years, or maybe 2.5 years of working part-time and full-time, because this job with ABG gave me a lot of creative freedom and flexibility, and it challenged me in ways that my corporate job didn't. It was really rewarding to be so hands-on on something from the ground up, and the opportunity that the ladies at ABG gave me was truly changed the trajectory of my life, genuinely. I know it sounds extremely dramatic. I just have a lot of respect for them, and I feel very grateful for the opportunities that they gave me, and that they even took a chance on me. When I first interviewed with them, I remember being really honest. My interview was with Janet and Mel. I think Helen was sick, so she wasn't able to join our actual call, but they recorded it, and apparently she watched it afterwards, which made me stressed. But I remember in the interview, Janet was asking me what my social media experience is, and if I could, give some examples of work that I've done. And I was so nervous, and I was honestly, I'm just gonna be really candid. I don't have any social media experience aside from being a person that uses social media casually on my own. So I remember just being really stressed that that was going to be a big deterring factor of why they decided to not choose me. And I was able to meet Nikki through ABG. I learned so much from them, and I'm so grateful for the ways that they have contributed to my growth professionally and just individually as a person. It was really, really amazing to be part of just this group of innovative, bright, just such talented and welcoming Asian American women that were building this community for people that look like me. I remember I had one interview, one job interview for a corporate job for a pretty big company. They're really well known in the beauty space. A lot of my resume and portfolio experience was my ABG projects. I remember during this interview, I'd made it to the final round. I was talking to the creative director, and I will genuinely never forget this interview. I ended up not getting the job, which was honestly, I think, for the best, because just this last interview, was just weird to me. Just the way that we were talking and the way that she was talking to me was just weird. Every interview I had leading up to this last one with the creative director, it was with people of color, and then they were saying how important DEI was, and how they really value people of different backgrounds and different ethnicities and all that stuff. So I was okay, great. I love to hear that this is an inclusive workspace on that end. But then I got to my last interview with the creative director, and I think everyone spoke highly of me, but my interview with her was a little bit weird. I mean, I don't want to attribute it to the fact that she was a white woman, but we were talking about creative strategy and my projects and my portfolio. Since it's a lot of Asian American based content with ABG, she asked me what my strategy is, and I was saying that a lot of we do Mel and I do develop strategy, but a lot of it does come from shared lived experiences as being child of immigrants and what that looks like in our upbringing and how that's affected us. How we use that to connect with other people with similar upbringings, niche, but also very broad. And a lot of people can have shared understanding in that umbrella. And basically she asked me why do I feel I have the qualifications? What makes me qualified to talk about that? To think of strategy in that space. My brain literally stopped because I didn't even know how to answer this question, because basically I kind of felt she was questioning my existence. I was I don't know how to answer this. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I just felt like weird having to explain my upbringing to her and like why I'm qualified to create content that speaks to this specific demographic. All this to say, I didn't get the job, which is fine because that last interview did leave a weird taste in my mouth, especially with everyone being like,
oh, look, we so value like a different ethnicities and just DEI initiatives and all this stuff.
At the end, it's like this white lady asking me why I'm even qualified to talk about the Asian American immigrant experience when like that's literally my upbringing. So like it was just weird. But I'll just never forget that because it also showed me how big of an impact ABG had on my life and how important it was to be in that space and creating content for other people that, you know, had similar upbringings and that we can have this shared understanding and just this like unspoken bond almost. During my time with ABG, it was also when in 2021, when there was a huge rise in Asian hate crimes, unfortunately, I guess a startup as an organization, we had lots of conversations about that internally too. And they had always held space for us as employees to be able to process our emotions with them and to take time as we need. Mel was always very generous and understanding that social media is like you're just always very involved and you can't really ever choose to like tap out of anything. You just have to stay locked in when you work in social. It's genuinely not a choice. Like you just, even when I was on social media on my own accounts and just like looking at things for fun, it always felt like I was doing research still. And Mel was very aware of that and very understanding of when I needed to take a break and I needed to step away from things. And we would just like tag team and just like take things as they come. Yeah, I think my time there was just so meaningful to me, and walking away from that role was so hard. It was really hard to make the decision to move on from that and pursue other career opportunities. And even to this day, like I owe so much of my, like just where I am now to ABG. And I'm just so proud of them. They've been podcasting for 7 years. And that's just a really long time to be vulnerable with your audience and just to be sharing so much of your life and talking about things again and again and again on camera and just showing up every single week with each other, with the 3 hosts, and like with their community. So I'm just really, really proud of them and everything that they've accomplished. And I'm just so grateful for everything that they have allowed me to take part in and expanding my design experience and expanding my skill set, and just their trust in me was invaluable. So excited for this event. I like don't know what to wear still. I need to leave in like an hour, less than an hour. I need to leave soon, but I have not gotten ready yet. But I'm also excited to see some of the people that I used to work with. It's just a good crowd of people. So I'm excited to see everybody again. I haven't seen them in like 2 years. Okay, like a year and a half. But it was last time I saw Mel was before I left for Taiwan. So I'm excited to see everybody again. I need to go get ready. Do you want me to move it? Sure. It's so dark. I don't know.
Traditionalist?
So cute.